The tax credit is gone. New EV sales are down 28%. And yet right now in April 2026, certain electric vehicles are absolutely flying off dealer lots, while everything else sits collecting dust. Today on Nick's Car Review, we are breaking down the fastest selling EVs in America right now. The cars that real buyers are actually choosing in 2026. These are the cold, hard Q1 numbers, and some of them are going to genuinely surprise you. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick. Quick context before we start. Everything you're about to hear is based on the latest Q1 2026 sales data from Cox Automotive, the most current and complete picture of the American EV market available right now. A total of 216,399 EVs were sold in the first 3 months of 2026. While that is down from the previous year following the end of the federal tax credit, it is a significant improvement from the brutal fourth quarter of 2025, when sales plummeted immediately after the credit expired. The market is stabilizing. And inside these numbers, there are some genuinely fascinating stories about which cars are winning and why. Let's count them down. Kicking off the list at number 10 is the Cadillac Lyriq. And the Lyriq deserves its spot here because it is one of the few luxury EVs that actually posted positive momentum in a quarter where most of the market was declining. Cadillac was one of a handful of brands that bucked the broader trend of declining EV sales in Q1 2026, posting higher sales growth compared to the previous year. The Lyriq starts at around $62,000. And what you get for that money is one of the most genuinely beautiful interiors in the entire luxury EV segment. That 33-inch curved LED display is stunning. It puts a lot of the German competition to shame in terms of sheer visual impact. The ride quality is pure Cadillac, smooth, quiet, and incredibly isolated from the road. 314 miles of range means you are not compromising on practicality either. The software issues that plagued early examples have largely been sorted out, making the Lyriq a car that can finally be recommended without hesitation. 3,370 units in Q1 puts it at the base of this list. But the positive year-over-year trajectory is the real story here. Number 9 is the most controversial vehicle on this entire list, the Tesla Cybertruck. And look, whatever your opinion of it, the numbers do not lie. The Tesla Cybertruck sold 3,519 units in Q1 2026. That is down significantly from its stronger quarters in 2025, and it reflects the broader challenges in the electric truck segment right now. But 3,500 units of a vehicle that starts at around $80,000 is still a meaningful number. The Cybertruck remains unlike anything else on the road. Stainless steel body, steer-by-wire, a 0 to 60 time of 2.6 seconds in the Cyberbeast trim, over 300 miles of range. It is a rolling science experiment that polarizes everyone who sees it, but for the people who want it, nothing else will do. The electric truck segment is going through a difficult period right now, with the F-150 Lightning canceled and overall truck EV demand softer than expected. But the Cybertruck is still moving units and still making headlines, and that keeps it firmly on this list. Number 8 is the Rivian R1S. And this is a genuinely impressive result for Rivian when you look at the context surrounding it. The Rivian R1S sold 5,494 units in Q1 2026, with Rivian posting higher sales growth compared to the same period last year, one of the few brands to actually grow in a down market. The Rivian R1S starts at around $76,990, and it is not trying to be everything to everyone. It is trying to be the best electric adventure SUV on the planet. And for the people who want that specific thing, it absolutely delivers. Over 14 inches of ground clearance, the ability to wade through 3 feet of water, up to 410 miles of range with the Max Pack. An interior that uses sustainable materials like reclaimed wood and vegan leather with thoughtful touches throughout, like a removable Bluetooth speaker and a built-in air compressor. This is a vehicle built for people who actually use their SUV for what SUVs were originally designed for. The Gen 2 refresh that arrived brought significant improvements in ride quality and added more capability on top of an already impressive foundation. The main criticism is the heavy reliance on the touchscreen for almost everything: air vents, steering wheel adjustment, nearly all vehicle functions. For some buyers, that is a deal breaker. For the adventure-focused buyer who chose this vehicle specifically, it tends to be an acceptable trade-off. 5,400 units in a quarter, where the overall EV market is struggling, is a strong result for Rivian and signals that the premium adventure EV segment has a real and committed audience. Number 7 is the Ford Mustang Mach-E, and honestly, this placement tells a complicated story because 4,600 units sounds reasonable on the surface until you realize that represents a 60% decline year over year. The Mach-E is a genuinely good car. It looks great, drives sportily, has a frunk you can actually use as a cooler complete with a drain plug, and the software is among the most refined of any non-Tesla EV on the market. Range goes up to around 270 miles on the extended range version. The problem is not the product, it is the timing. The Mach-E has been on sale since 2021, and Ford does not have a replacement platform ready until next year at the earliest. It is an aging product in a market that no longer has a tax credit to prop up sales of older designs. Ford is essentially waiting out 2026 until their next generation EV platform arrives. For now, the Mach-E is holding the fort alone and doing the best it can in a tough situation. Number 6 is the one that is going to surprise a lot of people, the Lexus RZ. Because this car was not even on most people's radar heading into 2026, and yet here it is sitting comfortably in the top 10 fastest selling EVs in America right now. The Lexus RZ sold 4,456 units in Q1 2026, an increase of 206% compared to the same period last year. 206% growth in a market that is down 28% overall. That is one of the most dramatic positive swings of any vehicle on this entire list. So what is driving that? A couple of things. The Lexus RZ benefits directly from the same platform improvements that made the Toyota BZ such a success story this quarter. Toyota and Lexus share underpinnings, and the upgrades that transformed the BZ into a competitive product lifted the Lexus RZ right along with it. On top of that, the Lexus badge carries enormous weight with a specific type of buyer, someone who wants a premium luxury electric experience with the legendary Lexus reliability reputation behind it. Those buyers exist in significant numbers, and they have been waiting for a Lexus EV that was actually worth buying. The updated Lexus RZ finally gave them that. 4,456 units and 206% growth. Nobody predicted this. The numbers are real. Number 5 is the Chevrolet Equinox EV. And this one has a really interesting story because just a year ago, the Equinox EV was being celebrated as one of the biggest success stories in the entire non-Tesla EV market. The breakout affordable electric SUV that was finally bringing mainstream buyers into the electric world. And it is still doing that. 9,589 units sold in Q1 2026 is a genuinely solid number. GM reported 9,589 Chevrolet Equinox EV units sold in the first quarter of 2026, down 7.2% from the previous year, despite the company offering significant incentive spending on the model. The slight decline is worth understanding. GM has been throwing serious money at the Equinox EV. Some buyers have been finding examples on dealer lots for as low as $25,000 after all the incentives stack up. At that price, it is one of the most remarkable deals in the entire new car market. 319 miles of range, a massive 17.7-inch touchscreen, strong build quality, and a price that would have seemed impossible for a new electric SUV just a couple of years ago. The fact that sales dipped slightly, even with that level of incentive spending, tells you something about how competitive this market has become. But 9,500 units in a single quarter still makes the Equinox EV one of the most important electric vehicles on sale in America right now, and it absolutely earns its place at number 5. Number 4 is a car that has been a consistent winner in this market for several years now, and the Q1 2026 numbers prove it is not slowing down anytime soon. The Hyundai Ioniq 5. Hyundai moved 9,790 Ioniq 5 units in the first quarter of 2026, up 14% year over year, up 14%, in a market that is down 28% overall. That gap between the Ioniq 5's trajectory and the broader market tells you everything you need to know about how well positioned this car is right now. The reason is not complicated. Hyundai slashed the price of the Ioniq 5 by up to $9,800 for the 2026 model year, bringing the starting price down to $35,000. The car offers up to 318 miles of range and 800-volt fast charging that takes it from 10 to 80% in roughly 20 minutes, nearly $10,000 cheaper than before. Same exceptional product. That aggressive pricing decision made right after the federal tax credit disappeared was the single smartest strategic move any automaker made in this market over the past year, and the sales numbers are the proof. Add in the fact that the 2026 Ioniq 5 now comes standard with a NACS port giving owners direct access to Tesla's supercharger network, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, and a spacious flat floor interior that genuinely feels premium well beyond its price point, and you have a car that is almost impossible to argue against at $35,000, 9,790 units in Q1, up 14% in a down market. The Ioniq 5 is one of the strongest value propositions in the entire automotive market right now, not just in the EV segment. Number 3 is the story of the quarter. The comeback that nobody fully predicted, the Toyota BZ. Toyota reported selling 10,029 units of the BZ crossover from January through March, a 79% gain over the same period last year. The BZ is on track to be America's most popular non-Tesla EV in the first quarter, beating out the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Chevrolet Equinox EV, and essentially all of the usual suspects that tend to top America's EV sales charts. Let that sink in for a second. The Toyota BZ, a car that was being written off as an also-ran just 12 months ago, just beat every single non-Tesla EV in America in Q1 2026. Every single one. That is one of the most dramatic single quarter turnarounds in recent automotive history. Toyota slashed the price of the base model by over $2,000, bringing it to $36,350 before any discounts, and bumped maximum range to 314 miles from a previous 252 miles without significantly changing the price. More range, lower price. A genuinely improved product across the board. And then Toyota backed all of that up with up to $7,000 in discounts and 0% APR financing to kick things off. The combination of a better car and a lower price with aggressive financial incentives behind it in a market starving for exactly that kind of value-produced results that shocked the entire industry. Toyota's strength as a brand is also undeniable. The automaker may have earned a reputation as an EV laggard among hardcore EV fans, and rightly so, but the bZ4X arrived later than competitors with worse specs. Now that Toyota can meet buyers where they are, with a revamped BZ and several new electric models arriving throughout 2026, this may be a very good year for the company's EV program. The Toyota BZ at number 3 is the feel-good story of the Q1 2026 EV market, and it is not done yet. Number 2 is the car that defined the modern electric sedan, the Tesla Model 3. And even in a market that is down significantly from where it was a year ago, the Model 3 is still posting numbers that make every other sedan on this list look like a rounding error. The Tesla Model 3 sold 21,672 units in Q1 2026, more than double the next closest non-Tesla competitor on this entire list. That kind of gap is almost hard to process when you lay the numbers out side by side. The Model 3 right now starts at $36,990 for the base rear-wheel drive variant, the new standard trim that Tesla introduced to bring the entry price down by $5,500 compared to the previous base model. 321 miles of EPA range, a 0 to 60 time of 5.8 seconds. And of course, the full Tesla ownership experience, supercharger network, access, over-the-air updates, autopilot standard from the factory. What the Model 3 has going for it beyond just the specs and the price is something that is very difficult to quantify, but very easy to see in the sales numbers. It is the default choice for a huge portion of the American car buying population right now. When someone decides they want an electric sedan, the Tesla Model 3 is almost always the first car they think of. That kind of brand recognition and buyer trust does not appear on a spec sheet, but it absolutely shows up in 21,000 unit quarterly sales numbers. The Tesla Model 3 is a juggernaut, and these Q1 numbers prove that even in a challenging market, it remains completely unchallenged in the electric sedan segment. And here we are, number 1. And it is not even close. The Tesla Model Y. The Model Y ranked first with 78,591 units sold in Q1 2026, with sales rising 22% compared to the same period last year. Every 1 in 3 EVs sold in Q1 2026 was a Tesla Model Y. Read that again. Every 1 in 3 electric vehicles sold in America in the first quarter of 2026 was a Tesla Model Y. In a market with dozens of competing options from every major automaker in the world, the Model Y's dominance is so complete that it almost defies explanation when you try to put it into words. 78,591 units. The next closest competitor on this list, the Tesla Model 3, sold 21,672. The Model Y outsold the Model 3 by nearly 4-to-1, and the Model 3 is already lapping every other non-Tesla EV by a massive margin. The Tesla Model Y starts at around $41,630 for the base rear-wheel drive version new for 2026, up to 357 miles of range. The supercharger network, over-the-air updates, autopilot, and an SUV body that fits 5 people comfortably with genuinely usable cargo space for real family life. It is not the most exciting car on this list. It is not the most luxurious, it is not the most powerful, but for 78,000 buyers in a single quarter, it was the right answer. And the right answer does not need to be the most exciting one to win. Tesla accounted for 45% of all new EV sales in the US in 2026, down slightly from 49% in 2024, but still an absolutely dominant market position that no other manufacturer is anywhere close to challenging. The Tesla Model Y is the engine driving that dominance, and it shows absolutely zero signs of slowing down. So, stepping back and looking at the full picture of the fastest selling EVs in America right now, in April 2026, what is the actual story here? The story is that this market is splitting into very distinct tiers. At the very top, Tesla sits in a class completely by itself, with the Model Y and Model 3 accounting for numbers that dwarf everyone else combined. In the middle tier, you have a genuine battle between Hyundai, Toyota, GM, and Rivian, all fighting hard for the same mainstream buyers with competitive products and aggressive pricing. And then below that, you have brands that are either struggling badly or simply waiting for the next generation of their products to arrive before they can compete properly again. With national gas prices surging to over $4.12 on average, interest in EVs and shopping traffic has increased significantly at major automotive marketplaces. The pain at the pump is real, and it is pushing more buyers toward electric than ever before. The brands that have affordable, well-sorted products ready right now, Toyota, Hyundai, GM, are capturing those buyers. The ones that do not are watching the opportunity pass them by. The fastest selling EVs in America right now are not necessarily the flashiest or the most talked about on social media. They are the ones that hit the right price, deliver the right range, and back it all up with a buying experience that makes the switch from gas feel easy rather than scary. That formula is working, and the Q1 2026 numbers prove exactly that. I am Nick, this has been Nick's Car Review, and I will see you in the next one.